Hey there, welcome back to my Stepping Matters channel. This is a new day and a new YouTube video. My name is Frank, and today I lucked out. It's an absolutely beautiful, gorgeous, sunny day, fresh, crisp snow all around. It's a little on the cold side though. We're looking at about minus 15, 16. Now, luckily, there's no wind today, no wind this morning, so it's going to be a nice walk through the woods here. Well, today I'm going to readdress a previous Stepping Matters video I did, and that one was called Putin and NATO. Sometimes I jump the gun a little bit, I guess. I have certain opinions and think about things in a manner that maybe doesn't serve me as well as it should, because I suppose I should maybe do some more in-depth research. Anyway, I was in fact on the right track, so to speak, but I guess maybe a little late coming to the party. My premise on that video was that what the West should have done to fix this problem between Russia, Putin, and the Ukraine, and the whole Russian fiasco relating to another set of incidents over the years, was just to invite Putin to join NATO, have the Russian Federation join NATO, and that would probably lead to solving a lot of the problems. But realistically speaking, after I looked into the matter a little bit, at one time maybe my idea of Russia joining NATO could have worked, and in fact, after looking into it a little bit, like I say, I was a little late to join the party, because, in fact, back in 1990, Mikhail Gorbachev actually suggested the idea that Russia might like to join NATO. And this is back in 1990. And then over the years, Putin and Clinton and even the Polish foreign minister revisited the issue, and lo and behold, in 1991 there was the new NATO alliance formed, and that was called the Euro-Atlantic Partnership. That in 1991, and in 1994 Russia was invited in and actually joined to a NATO partnership, but of course not a full member of NATO, but still in partnership with it. And that went on actually till 2002, when another partnership further solidified the alliance called the NATO-Russian Council, and that lasted a few years. Actually, Russia provided military support, transport cooperation for the mission in Afghanistan. So Russia was playing a key role in being a part of NATO. But then things kind of started going downhill, even before that time, because there was plenty of unrest and turmoil within the new Russian Federation, which really didn't help matters, because in order to join NATO as a new country, you had to be able to meet some stringent rules and guidelines. One was the full capability of a true and honest democracy, and with Putin in power, that just really wasn't happening. Don't forget, between 1994 and 2000, I don't know, 2, 3, 4. I mean, Russia was really involved in quite a bit of, like I said before, turmoil. Like they had their civil wars in Chechnya. That was just devastating. Then, of course, what does Putin decide to do a few years after that? I think it was in 2008. He decides to invade Georgia. So, this wasn't sitting well with NATO at all, and it just went to show that it's hard to change a leopard's spots, and Putin was certainly showing his spots. So once after he had invaded Georgia, and NATO had lost all confidence in Putin because he had created and put this air of siege mentality all over his regime, and he now is in a position where his mandate is known and his position in trying to rebuild the Soviet Union is very plain for everyone to see. And of course, 2014 rolls around, and what does he do? Well, the leopard spots even grow darker, and he decides to invade Ukraine and annex Crimea. So, having said all that, it's probably a little too late now to invite Mr. Putin and the Russian Federation to be joining NATO. They're just, like I said before, the Russian people are incredible culture oriented. Their art, their music, they're part of Europe. But this madman desire, this compulsion that Putin has to rebuild the Soviet Union and to just cause havoc all over the place. What's the point of that? Does he not realize that taking over Ukraine is just going to create more animosity towards him and his wonderful people? I got to tell you this, I'm certainly no historian, although I do take some pride in having lived through a little bit of this history, and I'm talking about history when it pertains to Russia. And for me, it started back in 1956 as a little kid. I was like 5 years old, and that was during the time of the Hungarian Revolution. And me and my parents, we had to leave Hungary, and we escaped, and we became refugees because of the Russian politics and the Russian regime. They pretty much took over Budapest, and Budapest and Hungary, of course, wanted to become independent, and Russia wasn't going to let that happen, and they sent in the tanks and started to turn Budapest into rubble. So we escaped, and so there was my first indoctrination to the Russian regime. And then, fast forward many, many years, I find myself back in Moscow, standing in Red Square, after the fall of communism. And I'm thinking, well, okay, great, maybe things are going to be moving along nicely. And back then, my goodness, President Clinton and the new president of Russia, Boris Yeltsin, they were buddies. They had meetings, they were joking around, they became friends, and I really thought that there was a new opportunity, a new era unfolding. And so things did unfold, and it unfolded to what we have now. And in retrospect, thinking about this, I'm figuring now that these crazy going nowhere. Negotiations have been taking place week after week. One side sitting down with the other side, trying to figure out what the outcome's going to be with these hundreds of thousands of troops, aligned along the border of Ukraine. Russians ready to invade just about any day. Yeah, it's a little too late now to have Ukraine join NATO, but they had their opportunity. I think NATO should have embraced Ukraine's admittance into NATO right after Russia annexed Crimea. Then truly Ukraine could have been fortified with NATO, and there would have been no question about a possible future Russian invasion as we're facing today. Interestingly enough, remember that time when Putin visited George Bush down in, where did he live? Crawford, Texas, was it? Yeah, I think so. He went to his ranch down there in Crawford, and George Bush W. is riding in his Jeep with Putin, and then he tells everybody that he looked into Putin's eyes and he could see his soul, and that he made a connection, and he felt that the United States and Russia had opened a new beginning. Remember that? Well, this is what it led to. Things change, but I guess, like I said earlier, a leopard never changes his spots. Kind of also reminds me of that story. I think it was between the scorpion and I don't know, some other creature, where the scorpion promises not to sting him, and then in the end the scorpion stings him anyway. And just before the other creature dies, he says, "Well, you promised that you wouldn't sting me." And the scorpion says, "Yeah, but I'm a scorpion." So, yeah, but I'm a dictator. So that'll do it for today. And if you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe. Maybe you can make a comment or two and press that like button. And don't forget to smile. And if you can, try doing something nice for someone today. Thanks very much. Bye-bye. Have a good one.